Yeah.
Like, dude, whatever. It was, I don't know, man. It was more or less a stepping stone for me. I try not to like my experiences in the Marine Corps that are significant to me are literally just the memories that I have with my buddies and stuff. All the dumb shit, like being out in the field and hanging out on the gun and shit like that. Like that is the Marine Corps to me. Like
Yeah.
dude, I would do almost anything just to get to have the platoon on the gun line, hanging out for an afternoon. Like we don't even have to be firing, but just in position on the gun line, everyone bullshitting again just for a day. I would pay any amount of money just to do that again.
You know what's crazy? I
But
think there's an actual machine gun, maybe even a mortar range that's out in Arizona, which to me, that obviously isn't that far away, but to everybody else, that's obviously a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump, but
okay,
not saying it's impossible.
I got to exclude a couple people, and what I mean by that is like I'm talking about the gun line. I'm not talking about Gunny and the platoon commander and none of that. Not unless it's going to be fucking Captain Mulder out there.
You don't want the platoon leadership out there? Like, come on, like they're a part of it too.
I don't know, man. I don't have a filter anymore. So if Gunny Bowden got under my skin, I'd be like, Gunny, what the fuck? Like,
well,
you know,
because he's in the space force.
Being a corporal for the short amount of time that I was, like, I bit my tongue a lot when Gunny Bowden would be like, "Hey, we're doing this," and I'm like, "Why the fuck would we do that? That's so stupid." Grown ass man rules. This is regular society. Like, if someone talks to me like that, they're gonna lose teeth. That's my rant. Anyway.
No, rant, please. I mean, that's what builds the passion, builds the clips.
Money just to be on the gun line with the boys again. Like, even with the dudes that I don't talk to anymore. And it's weird because like there's some people that I was in with that like I just don't talk to anymore, or I've had like falling outs with, and I don't even know why. Like, I'm not going to name names, but like I had a buddy of mine that like I even knew him before the Marine Corps. Like, we even went to high school together at one point. He was still in when I was getting married. He was actually supposed to be one of my groomsmen. And I called him one night to be like, "Hey man, like wedding's coming up. Did you order your plane tickets or whatever?" And he was like, I got to call you back. I'm on duty. And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of weird." And then he was like, "Oh, my roommate got COVID, blah, blah, blah," something like that. And I was like, "What?" And he just didn't show up. And I've never heard from the guy since then. I mean, I've tried reaching out to him a couple times just to figure out like, what happened or anything, but I don't know. It's been years and I still haven't heard from the guy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's weird. Like, friends come in your life from people at a restaurant, they just go in and out as they please.
Yeah, it wasn't anyone from our platoon or our unit, but it was just someone that I had a lot of history with. So I'm just like, I wonder what the fuck happened. But like, there's people that like I just don't talk to and shit. And I also have like, my own reasons for not wanting to talk to some people and shit because like I have reasons that are probably a bigger deal in my head than they are in the other person's head. But it is what it is.
It is weird because like with guys, like it's really not that complicated. We just don't like talking for whatever reason. When I guarantee you, if we just take the initiative to reach out, it would be like the happiest reunion. You're like, wait a minute, like you thought about me or something like that. Or it's like, oh yeah.
Reaching out, someone I have to give a shitload of credit to. Someone who's always on it and reaching out and trying to check in on people, like making sure all the boys are good. Dude, Gallo. I was keeping up with Gallo every day for a while, but he's mainly on Snapchat and stuff. I don't have Snapchat anymore. I don't have any of that stuff. But he actually me the other day recently, and he was like, "Hey man, I haven't heard from you in a while. Just wanted to check in and make sure that like you're doing all right. Make sure you're not like you don't got a gun barrel in your mouth or anything like that. Just wanted to make sure you're doing all right. This isn't an emergency or anything." And I was like, "Hey man, I really appreciate you checking on me." I don't know if this is a video or recording, but I'm gonna hit the.
Yeah, don't worry, it's not illegal. You're not gonna get med-cept for hitting the John F. Kennedy.
I was going to say, I'm completely out anyway. My inactive reserve time's up, and I live in a legal state.
Oh, it's illegal?
We're recreationally legal in Maryland. Like, I can just walk in the store and buy this.
Oh, okay, nice. Well, here is the Shrek socks, folks. You can see the donkey. I don't know.
Donkey! Oh, good though.
That'll do. Yep. Oh, good though.
Donkey!
Dirty!
Dude, I will never forget that.
Hey, Tyler, will you respond to my message? Because I'm trying to get you back on the show again. Spoiler alert.
Who?
Gunny Whitman.
Dude, wait, he's a gunny now?
Yes, sir. He got promoted, I want to say last month. Relatively recently.
I hate to say it, but like, so out of our seniors, I didn't have a lot of respect for most of them, but I will say Whitman was definitely one of them. Like, I definitely had some respect for that guy because he was like a genuine dude, but like he still had that senior, like, still had the whole mindset of like, I'm a senior, you're a boot. Like, I get it. But like, he wasn't a douchebag about it. Like, he was actually still like a human about it. And he was actually funny as fuck with it.
I'd recommend that you listened because he was on the show once back in 2022, I think, when the show was really starting. I recommend you watch that episode because he really went in depth on like reflecting on his time as our senior. It's actually really good talk.
My favorite seniors that we had, and they're probably like my only favorite ones. Faux show, like probably hands down my favorite is Purdue. Fucking love Purdue. He actually came up to my house not too long ago. He only lives like 2 hours away down in Virginia, but he's actually doing great. He went from blue collar truck driving to having a kid and moving up to like some crazy 6-figure white collar job. He's doing great. I'm definitely proud of him. And he was one of those seniors where like when I was having a really hard
Wait, what is he doing to make the bank?
Some kind of white collar job. I don't know, but he's doing absolutely great, and I'm definitely really proud of him. But Purdue, definitely Vidrio, and it's weird because with Vidrio, I had this weird little bit of beef with him personally when I got out, and like I said something to him about it when I had my kid because I was going through some shit, and I was like, that was totally unwarranted. But like I see that he's just a dude doing his thing, going through the same shit. So like I miss the dude. I'm definitely proud of him, and he was definitely like the best squad leader I ever had, and like I will never take any of that for granted. Yeah, those two stuck out the most to me. Same thing with Whitman, old Saggy. Oh, also another one of my favorite seniors. Cannot forget, honorable mention, fucking Hans Nakatsukasa, man. Dude, he's doing great. Yeah, apparently he's doing really well. He's getting married. Fuentes for sure, dude. I love Fuentes. I miss that guy. I have a lot of respect for that man.
Mm-hmm.
Fuentes definitely a great dude. Dude, who was that one dude? Oh my god, his teeth freaked me out. Fucking, I called him Muff Dive, Muffaletto.
Wait, what? I've never heard of this. I don't recall his teeth being like.
Dude, I swear to God, like
Muffaletto. I'm sorry to put you on the spotlight like this,
he
but
would
you
put
didn't look good to me.
For the ones putting me at parade rest. I was like, them bitches is fake. I was like, ain't no way they make veneers. And he'd be like,
yeah,
hey, bitch.
Those real teeth, show them.
Dude, finger straightened off the trigger. He just flagged me from like thousands of miles away.
There, though, but the Reynolds that you're about to see, there is parts of this Reynolds that I knew when I was in, but like to see this Reynolds become a family man, to be responsible, to be this successful, it's like, not to say you were going down a dark road, but it's just like, this seems very off to see Reynolds not be the standard wild man that I'm familiar with.
Well, I mean, things change and it's just circumstance, and you go through a lot of shit and you grow as a person. Not only that, I gotta credit that to probably, like my whole frontal lobe developing and everything like that, because shit, when I got out, I was only 20. I had just turned 23. So like, yeah, I thought I was an adult and thought I was Mr. Billy Badass because I was a Marine and everything like that. But like, I wasn't even a full grown adult yet. Like my brain wasn't even done growing. So like, I still had a lot to figure out about myself and everything like that, which, kind of changed things too. But my perspective on everything, it's weird because a lot of the dudes we were in with, I talked to them since we've been out, and like, no offense to anyone or anything like that, but a lot of them are still like really riding those Marine Corps days, which like, I get it. But the same concept of like, the theory of like people who peaked in high school.
Yeah.
Well, I have the same feeling of some people, like where it's like, okay, peaked in the Marine Corps. Like, I get it. Those were your glory days, but those don't have to be your glory days. That can just be a stepping stone, like just to get you to where you need to go. And honestly, for me, that's what the Marine Corps was. It was a stepping stone. It got me out of the living situation that I was in at the time. It gave me the structure that I needed. Didn't really grow up with like a father figure or anything like that. So it kind of taught me how to be a man. At least be a man to where I can have accountability for myself, both like morally, physically, all those things. But shit, where was I even going with that? Fucking ADHD.
No,
Uh,
you're okay. It's I will say it's definitely, I think, something that a lot of people, and I don't mean this in a negative light, like you need to hear, like it's something that a lot of us really struggle with, and I think it's just because it is really the only success that we've had up till that point in our life. So for a lot of us, it's just very tempting to rest on our laurels, I guess you would say. Like you saying that, for a lot of people, it's almost like peaking in high school, for example. It's a perfect description of it. I think we just forget that, like, look, life still goes on. There's other aspects of it that you can tackle. It's just one part of it. It doesn't have to be your whole identity. You can absorb other things, test your boundaries, test your identity, and other stuff like that.
well, here, don't get me wrong too. I did when I first got out, I did go through that period, and I think everybody does, to where it's like, because you spend so much effort and time getting in, but then they just shit you out so fast, to where it's like, I don't know. I almost had like, my personality was, oh yeah, I was a Marine. That was that for the longest time, because that was the most significant thing I had done up until that point. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so like, not only that, but I got shit out so fast after EASing, like especially with the whole COVID thing happening and like doing TRS online and everything, just getting shit back out to society like unprepared. I
Yeah.
had like an identity crisis and had to like refigure out who I was and the things that I actually like, because it was like the things that I liked doing before the Marine Corps, some of them I didn't really like, in like hobbies and stuff. I didn't enjoy doing stuff like that anymore. So I had to like relearn who I was, and like, and all the baggage and stuff that I brought back from the Marine Corps, like, just being angry all the time and wanting to like blast people and shit like that. Like I can't do that, or like I'll lose my job type of deal. That's how it was in the beginning. It's not like that now. Now, being my own boss, I can say and do whatever the fuck I want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just kind of like a huge identity crisis thing. I had to like relearn who I was, figure everything out. And that's kind of how I became what I am now. How you were saying, like, I'm definitely a little different now. But that's just one of those things where you got to like, you can either just bottle it up and be that blue collar dude that just drinks beer and doesn't talk about his feelings for 50 years and then lets all the trauma dump hit him when he's like 56. Or
Mm-hmm.
you can just get that shit out of the way now, so that way your kids don't have to be affected by it and deal with it. And that way your kids have a better upbringing.
Yes. Now,
Because
you could do the responsible thing, but hey, there is no shame in bottling it up and being a terrible father figure. I mean, who said beating your kids is a terrible thing?